But Churchill deserved it. The Liberal government in which Churchill was a minister was engaged in a vicious attack on the very foundations of English society, taxing landed property, undermining the House of Lords, trying to give Ireland away to Catholics, emasculating the Royal Navy, and yielding to the blackmail of trade unions and damned socialists. Walden and his friends would not shake hands with such people. The door opened and Pritchard came into the room. He was a tall cockney with brilliantined black hair and an air of gravity which was transparently fake. He had run away to sea as a boy and had jumped ship in East Africa. Walden, there on safari, had hired him to supervise the native porters, and they had been together ever since. Now Pritchard was Walden's major domo, travelling with him from one house to another, and as much of a friend as a servant could be. "The First Lord of the Admiralty is here, my lord," Pritchard said. "I'm not at home," Walden said. Pritchard looked uncomfortable. He was not used to throwing out cabinet ministers. My father's butler would have done it without turning a hair, Walden thought. But old Thompson is graciously retired, growing roses in the garden of that little cottage in the village, and somehow Pritchard has never acquired that unassailable dignity. Pritchard began to drop his H's, a sign that he was either very relaxed or very tense. "Mr. Churchill said you'd say not at home, my lord, and he said to give you this letter." He proffered an envelope on a tray. Walden did not like to be pushed. He said crossly, "Give it back to him." Then he stopped and looked again at the handwriting on the envelope. There was something familiar about the large, clear, sloping letters. "Oh dear," said Walden. He took the envelope, opened it, and drew out a single sheet of heavy white paper, folded once. At the top was the royal crest, printed in red. Walden read, "Buckingham Palace, May 1st, 1914. My dear Walden, you will see young Winston. George R. I." "It's from the King," Walden said to Lydia. He was so embarrassed that he flushed. It was frightfully bad form to drag the King into something like this. Walden felt like a schoolboy who is told to stop quarrelling and get on with his prep. For a moment, he was tempted to defy the King, but the consequences— Lydia would no longer be received by the Queen. People would be unable to invite the Waldens to parties at which a member of the royal family would be present. And worst of all, Walden's daughter Charlotte could not be presented at court as a debutante. The family's social life would be wrecked. They might as well go and live in another country. No, there was no question of disobeying the King. Walden sighed. Churchill had defeated him. In a way, it was a relief, for now he could break ranks and no one could blame him. "Letter from the King, old boy," he would say in explanation. "Nothing to be done, you know." "Ask Mr. Churchill to come in," he said to Pritchard. He handed the letter to Lydia. The Liberals really did not understand how the monarchy was supposed to work, he reflected. He murmured, "The King is just not firm enough with these people." Lydia said, "This is becoming awfully boring." She was not bored at all, Walden thought. In fact, she probably found it all quite exciting. But she said that because it was the kind of thing an English countess would say. And since she was not English but Russian, she liked to say typically English things the way a man speaking French would say alors and a lot. Walden went to the window. Churchill's motorcar was still rattling and smoking in the forecourt. The driver stood beside it with one hand on the door, as if he had to hold it like a horse to stop it wandering away. A few servants were gazing at it from a safe distance. Pritchard came in and said, "Mr. Winston Churchill." Churchill was 40, exactly 10 years younger than Walden. He was a short, slender man who dressed in a way Walden thought was a shade too elegant to be quite gentlemanly. His hair was receding rapidly, leaving a peak at the forehead and 2 curls at the temples which, together with his short nose and the permanent sardonic twinkle in his eye, gave him a mischievous look.